Okay, another day, another email. So, I get emails every once in a while from all kinds of, like, startups. Like, I get a lot less crypto nonsense now than I used to, thank God. The last NFT email I got was like 6 months ago now, which, thank God, I'm so fucking tired of those fucking people. And, like, you get a bunch of spam in your inbox when you have a publicly available email like I do, obviously, right? But sometimes you get things that are, like, not scams. It's not a scam. It's not like any kind of like sort of necessarily directly abusive business practice or anything, but something that just grinds your gears. So join me, if you will, as we talk about this service which I was pitched today. Not personally, like this is an email from hello@gimme.co, right? So this is not personalized to me. Probably my email is on a list of YouTubers with X number of subscribers or more than that like a bunch of advertising agencies just sort of pass around between each other. It got scraped somewhere. But I got this. Welcome to Gimme. Get paid to play with your community. We'll come back to that. Gimme is a new platform for game creators. Let you play with your fans for a fee you control at the times you want. Choose your games, set your play times, and daily or weekly payouts. And getting started, apply to become a creator, blah, blah, play and get paid. Set us, like, right, we can also set up your quote. Okay. That's the pitch email, right? So I kind of look at that and I go, oh, well, this is already kind of annoying me a little bit. Get paid to play with your community. Okay, so I went to their website. This is the thing they sent me to with their link. Like, this is the pitch deck for becoming a Gimme creator. Get paid to play with the community. You could earn $4,500 a month. 3 plays per day, $50 per play. $200 per play. Why not? I'll do 8 times a day, $200 per play, $48,000. First of all, this is bullshit. No one in the world would pay $200 to play a game with me. Certainly not 8 times a day. Right. $10. No, fuck off. That immediately annoyed me. Like, because the pitch is nakedly this, right? Like, the pitch is, you can make a lot of money from doing this. You can monetize your audience by doing this. Make them pay you to play video games with you. And that... See, because here's the thing. If I start a stream and I say, hey, I'm going to play along with my community, and we get together on Discord and we'll play, I don't know, fucking game of League of Legends or something. I put that video on YouTube. Number 1, I can monetize it with ads already. Number 2, like, a video like that, a stream like that, well, if I do a stream like that, that's when people will send me super chats, or they'll like do donations or things like that. It's community engagement. Like, if I do something like this for content, right? If I play with my community for content, I'm already getting paid to play with them. Like, I have already monetized the interaction. And what these guys are pitching is that you can monetize it even more on top of that by monetizing access to you from on like a parasocial level, right? So I am very mildly a hypocrite in my annoyance here, because my job is to exploit my parasocial connection to my audience in order to make money. Like, when you boil it right down to the brutal bare facts of it, that's kind of what it is. I make videos. Hopefully they're good, hopefully they're interesting, that people sort of go, oh, that guy, I know his videos, I want to watch them, so they go and watch them. And in order to watch them, they will sit through ads on YouTube, or they will sit through a sponsorship segment where I try to sell them on Skillshare or whatever. They will sit through those things, which gets me money in order to hear what I have to say about a given subject. That is me already monetizing a parasocial connection by audience. The same thing goes with Patreon and like the coffee donation link. All of this is me monetizing a connection with my audience, right? And the intensity of that connection can vary. Like, some motherfuckers like fucking Logan Paul, that piece of shit, and like the sort of hype house people, and like there are some styles of creators who really very heavily monetize and try to cultivate these parasocial relationships, like really fucking hard. Like, talk about, oh my god, you guys are like my family, and I'm so grateful, and you're part of my community, and we're in this together, and this is our journey together, and oh my god, you guys, we hit 1 million subscribers, you and me together, you did that. Like, I dislike that. I think it's kind of fundamentally dishonest. I try not to do that very much, but on a fundamental level, we are in the same business. I am in the same business as the fucking Logan Pauls of the world, unfortunately. I do monetize a parasocial relationship to my audience. So I don't have that much of a high horse to sit on here, right? But I do... This rankles me. This rankles me very severely. Because, like, I don't know how I would face myself in the mirror if I went out to my audience and said, hey, you guys, you can play a video game with me and have fun, but money up front. Okay, gotta pay, gotta send that tip, gonna pay me that money, because there are plenty of people in my audience who do not fucking have $1 to give, right? Like, who don't have that kind of money. Like, even $1, even $2, like, they just don't have that available because times are fucking tough. And they've been tough for a long time, and they keep getting tougher. Like, and this, as a business model, creates such an environment of, like, it's literally pay to play, right? Like, it's, if you have money, you can have my attention, you can have my response, you can, like, I can pretend to have a social connection with you for the 30 minutes it takes for me to lose a League of Legends match very badly. And that creates such a haves and have-nots. That creates such a system where the people who have extra money to spend can have all of the interaction, all of the attention, can have all of the access, and anyone who doesn't have that money feels left out, feels left behind, feels unable to interact with or participate in the community, right? Like, this is why I sort of begrudgingly, like, YouTube ads for me are, like, the least offensive way to monetize my content in a lot of ways, because everyone can watch an ad. Like, it doesn't matter how, like, someone can pay for premium, right? Like, to get by the ads, but, like, ads are not, like, prohibitive. They are, like, it's free to watch an ad. You pay for it with a little bit of time, but it's like... But this is like... Imagine if I was a creator who charged $200 to play with me. And I did all of my streams where I play with people who pay me $200 to be there. And that sort of becomes the standard social practice for interaction on the stream. It's like... You have to be very fucking clear about what you're... Like, there is an ethical way to do this, right? Like, this is not something that is inherently unethical to charge people to play a video game with you. That's not inherently unethical. It's contextual, right? If you are a sex worker, for example, like, this is a fairly normal way to do the business. Is like, you get... Like, if you want to sit on a chat with me and we talk and, like, maybe we act out some kind of fantasy of yours or whatever it is, well, you know, you got to pay me X number of $100 in order to do that. Like, that's... You're offering a specific service. In return for that, you get money. That's a normal interaction, right? Like, but that's also included, like, people understand that when you go to a sex worker, it's like you pay for their time, right? Like, you pay for them to perform a certain service for you. But here, this, like, just $200? Or even $10 for what? To get into a fucking League of Legends lobby with me? Or even worse, like, do this in Fortnite. Get 100 players together? Even at $10 per play, that's like... That's an obscene amount of monetization for not a lot of anything. Like, if you have a relationship with your audience that is very explicitly boundaried in this way, like, where it's like, no, this is the service I offer, you can play video games with me, but it'll cost you this much money. First of all, I wouldn't route it through a platform like Gimme. Why would you do that? You have a PayPal. Like, there are other better ways to do this. But, like, you have to be really fucking careful with your disclosure. You have to be really fucking careful about what kind of social expectation you foster in your community when pay-to-play is the standard, right? This, like... And it's just... It what really just annoyed me is, like, how upfront it was with just this, right? The explicit argument of this website is that it would be reasonable to charge $50 for someone to play a video game with you. That it could be conceivably reasonable to charge $200. I wouldn't pay, like... I'm a big fan of several creators. There's no creator on Earth that I would ever pay $200 to play a video game with them. Never. Not in a million years. Absolutely fucking not. Are you insane? No way in hell. Like, no. Absolutely not. This just, this got under my fucking skin. And also the fucking language that these fucking people use. Let us set up your profile for you. If you're serious about playing with the audience, we'll set your profile up for you. Give your contact information. We'll reach. You know some of the best times I've ever had playing a video game with my community? Final Fantasy XIV streams that I do very occasionally. I fucking get back to it. I miss it a lot. Where I'm just playing through the game, and they show up and they help me through the dungeons. They help me through the raids, so make sure we have full teams, or they just show up and play around in the background while I'm going through the game, or they show off their cool mounts, or their costumes, or their glams, and I look at their glams, like, a whole thing happened on my stream where I started reviewing people's glams as, like, character design, because so many of them were so good. It horrifies me to think of trying to charge for that. Like, because that was some of the... Just sitting there, and a bunch of people are just excited to show me the cool shit that they made, the cool costumes, the cool the cool glams they have, and the fucking weird mounts that they grinded for God knows how many hours in some fucking raid. The level of disrespect that I would feel that I was showing if I was like, oh yeah, cool, I won't react to that unless you pay, like, no, I can't. And then there's this, like, there's also just some other... Let me just hang on. Let me just
apply to become a gimme creator. Click Creator Setup. Then fill out a short form to receive creator approval within 2 days. Once approved, set up your play-along schedule by clicking Manage Your Availability and select the best days, times, games, and gaming platforms along with your price. Once set, publish, and then share with...
So first of all, that's AI voice, right? Like either that or the voice actor was given some instructions to be as boring and monotone as humanly possible. Could go either way at this point. I sometimes can't tell anymore. But also, like, you can do this with a Trello board. You can do this with a Trello board and a PayPal account. Like, these people are middlemen.
Your community.
These people are being middlemen, right? Like, they're inserting themselves into the middle of something and saying, oh, we'll facilitate this for something which is trivial to facilitate otherwise. You could do this with, like, a Trello board, a Discord server, and a fucking PayPal account. Like, no problem. It's a little bit of administrative overhead, but it's easy. Which is sort of the other thing that, like, I'm starting to worry. Like, I will say, again, we talked about sex workers. A platform like this might be valuable to sex workers. Like, sex workers might be, like, because they're, like, stuff like heel slutting, for example, which is, like, a thing that sex workers sometimes do in online games. Like, sure, I could see that. But because the transactional nature is so heavily built in, right? And then there's this weird shit. Review games with your fans? Work with your community to create the most in-game game reviews to market? Which, like, are we getting... Hang on. Are you publishing these? Because it sure seems like you motherfuckers are publishing these. Gimme.co publishes these game reviews. So what's the benefit for me and my community to do that for you? So you can publish it on your website? Because why? Like, what are they angling for here? Are they trying to set up sort of an alternative system to Metacritic? What the fuck is the point of this? Reviewing games with your community? What? How? What do you mean with my community? And also, what's the point of this? Like, what's the communal aspect of this even? With the fucking review scores? This just confuses me. Upon signing up, you'll get your own booking page to set your phone. What's Gimme's commission on? I hadn't even seen that. Really? Is it now 20% commission? These motherfuckers want to charge 20% commission. Oh, let me turn the music down again. On a play-along session. So those $200 that you're charging people to fucking play with you, you're not even getting all of that. These motherfuckers are going to take $40 of it. Oh, you people can go to hell. 20%? Are you insane? For what? for setting up a website with a fucking Google Calendar on it? No. Oh, go to hell. Absolutely go to hell. Jesus Christ. That really... Listen, it was already bad enough. I thought the commission was gonna be like 1 to 5% because they don't do anything. Like, all they do is host a fucking website with a calendar interface. 20% commission? Are you people fucking high? What the fuck is wrong with you? Holy shit. And then just as like the icing on the cake here at the bottom, AI art of Kratos in a fucking call center and Batman and Aloy and just, I don't know if that's Lucius Malfoy or Geralt, but I imagine it's Geralt. And I guess Fortnite, some character skin? I don't know what the fuck it is, but first of all, they do not have permission to be using these characters this way. Let me just, like, no. Like, you motherfuckers do not have permission from Sony Santa Monica to use Kratos in your advertising for your platform. So, like, that's a fucking legal liability right there. But also AI art. And really fucking ugly AI art, too. It doesn't even fucking look like Kratos. It's like, that's just the fucking icing on the shit cake. 20%. These people are middlemen, right? Like I said, something like this, like a monetized interaction that specifically like, hey, if you pay me this amount of money, I will play this video game with you as like a social service. That's fine if you're a fucking, like, if you're a sex worker or if you are someone who's like a professional friend or like someone whose job it is to have social interactions with people for money. That is a job that a lot of people do, and it can be very valuable. It can be very helpful to a lot of people. Like there are some people, like, I know there's some autistic people who find certain kinds of like social services like that very valuable because it allows them to practice social interactions and ask for very honest feedback about like, how did I come across, and like what, like, is there a better way to make small talk, like shit like that can be valuable. But for someone like me, a fucking gaming influencer asshole type like me, this is toxic as fuck. This is ugly. This is really miserably offensive. And the fact that these shitheads, these greedy ass motherfuckers, these chancers, these fucking grifters are trying to charge 20% commission for facilitating this. By the way, I'm reasonably sure these guys are also AI art, by the way, because what the fuck is that controller supposed to be? I can't say for sure, but like, what the fuck's that controller supposed to be? No. Oh, you people go to hell. Like, and I mean that in the sense of like, when you die, you are going to hell. But here's another thing that's a little bit funny. So I went looking at the creators who are already using the platform, right? Now, first of all, I don't recognize any of them. Not that I'm a sort of like, encyclopedic YouTube gaming content creator knower or whatever, or Twitch streamer knower. But that's it. That's all they have. There we go. That's it. That's all they have. And of people who have followers on the platform, it's like 6 followers. 4, 4, 7... 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 4, 2, 4, 2, 1, 13. Big B here is the celebrity of the website. 4, nothing, 3, nothing, 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 nothing. 1 session played. So it's like, yeah, you're not really pulling in the big names here, huh? Like, which is sort of like when you're launching a site like this, what I would have expected them to do with whatever fucking like, venture capital money that's sort of behind them, if any, would be to reach out to some of like some middle tier Twitch streamers and like really pay them a fuck ton of money to set up on this platform and promote it and like really use it to try and like get their audience going with it to sort of give it some legitimacy. Like, I would have expected them to do that as a means to launch the site and sort of give it the credibility of being associated with people who have like big communities. Clearly they're just sort of counting on, hey, how about we set up a Trello board and a PayPal middleman, and then we take 20% of all the money that passes through it. I guess that wasn't a compelling pitch to other people either. how do I request to add a creator to play with on Gamey? To be determined. Oh, this is gonna... You're gonna do that, are you? Okay, like, this just gets worse by the second, because that... How do I request to add a creator to play? You know what no creator on Earth wants to get? None of us. I guarantee not a single one of us. Not a single one of us wants to get a whole bunch of automated emails or cold calls from some fucking website like Gimme saying, hey, 400 people on Gimme are requesting that you play with them. Like, 200 people. Hello? Like, did you miss my... Like, we don't want that. No one wants that. Like, I didn't even really want the fucking initial promotional email they sent out, but no one wants this, right? Because this, right, this is the website, if it became successful, what it would be doing, presumably, would be to set up some kind of automated function where you can add in a petition of, I want this creator to be on Gimme so I can play video games with them, right? Which is an attempt to weaponize the audience itself against creators to force them to get in on this ecosystem where Gimme can take 20% of all the money that fucking passes through. Fuck you. Oh, I was just annoyed at first. I was just like, I think this is kind of toxic. It creates like a bad... I think it creates like a bad sort of community. I think it creates a bad community atmosphere when the interaction is so explicitly monetized. It creates an atmosphere of haves and have-nots where people who have money are getting an extra privilege, like a substantial extra social privilege over people who don't. And it's like, yeah, there are degrees to that. Like, I have an exclusive Patreon section in my Discord, as well as mostly the not safe for work rooms, because a paywall is the only way I can sort of try to age verify people. But like this... Now that I know that these, like, that's why the price is set so fucking high. That's why the minimum that they're suggesting is like 10... Oh, the slider broke. That's why the minimum they were suggesting was $10. Because, oh, that's why it wouldn't make sense to charge $1, because then they could only get 20 cents, and that's not enough to cover the fee of transaction on PayPal. So, of course, it would be a minimum of $10 or something like that, because otherwise they can't extract their fucking middleman fee from... Ooh, you motherfuckers. Oh, no, I started out annoyed, now I'm angry. Fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are? 20%. Right? I don't even care, like, oh, I'm not even annoyed in the sense that, oh, they were going to take my money from my interact. I'm annoyed that they think they rate a full fifth of the interaction is down to the quality of their fucking service with their shitty-ass AI-generated bullshit. Their shitty-ass AI-generated voice, their shitty-ass copyright-infringing AI-generated characters on the... No. Nothing about this website is premium enough to warrant a 20% commission. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, YouTube takes 30%. That's already really fucking annoying. They take 30% of all super chats on YouTube, right? Like, we already hate the shit out of that, but YouTube at least, like, provides the basic platform on which I do my fucking work. Like, they at least provide me some actual tangible value. They give me some money back in ad revenue. Like, which they do the work of selling those fucking ads. You people. Oh, no. Oh, go to hell. Go to hell. Fuck you. Don't use Gimme. Any other creator who ever sees this, don't use Gimme. If you see a creator that you follow trying to get people to sign up and use Gimme, tell them, send them this video. Well, this video is kind of bad for that, but like, tell them not to, because this is a middleman. These fucking people are rent seekers. These are landlords. Oh, fuck these people. Fuck this website. Fuck this whole thing. Fuck you. 20%. This is a grift. This is a fucking scam. Holy shit. Anyway, this email just annoyed me. And then it made me pissed. Oh my god, I hate the grifter economy so much. Because, like, all this stuff I talked about, like, being uncomfortable monetizing the parasocial interaction. Like, I have to. It's the basis of the business I'm in. It's like, I can't escape that. But then this website comes along and not only wants me to incentivize me to monetize those interactions even harder. The reason why they want to do that is because they can take a full fifth of those interactions, which, like Patreon charges 5%, and that's like That's the upper boundary of like what's reasonable, and they provide an actual service. This is a Trello board. This is a fucking Google Calendar. Oh my god. Yeah, no, fuck this shit. Jesus Christ. I got a lot more angry there than I thought I would. Fucking hell. Oh, I feel gross now.